Hello everyone, in today's video you are going to be learning all about components in FlutterFlow and how to make components reusable and also dynamic. So what is a component in FlutterFlow? A component is a way of creating a reusable UI that can be attached to any screen of your FlutterFlow application, and based on the screen you really want, you can make that component to be dynamic based on the functionalities you fix on those components. So based on my video today, you are going to be learning how to create parameters in components and also how to add dynamic UI and add it into your FlutterFlow application. So there's a recent update on FlutterFlow. I just make an update to my FlutterFlow desktop application before I start creating this video. So the interface for creating a new component or creating a new FlutterFlow application have changed. You can see that, right? So without further ado, guys, let's get started. I'm going to be naming this my project to be component. All right, so click on the start building button. So we are going to get started building a clean workspace, a clean component that we are going to be adding in our application. So guys, one more thing to make this video as short as possible so that for you to understand what component is, I'm going to be making use of the FlutterFlow pre-built component. Probably I'm going to be making use of the one for profile. All right, so I'm going to be turning this guy off, the save area view, because I don't need them in my application. If I need them, I'm going to turn it on. All right, by the way, I'm going to be changing the color to dark. That means our scaffold, I'm going to be changing the color to that. That is how I really want it to be. So anyhow you want yours to be, then you can do it. I'm going to remove this. All right, so for us to get started creating a component, just click here and click on this plus icon. So you can see that you can create a new page, you can create a new component, you can also create a flows. A flows is like a complete pages or a complete mobile app that has several kinds of UI that flows together. All right, so you can see for cart and other history, you can see for chat. So there's a lot in that. So for that, we are going to be searching for a component that we are going to be using. All right, so I'm going to be searching for profile because I really want to make this explanation to be as short as possible. So I'm going to pick this in my default theme, name it profile, name it anything you want. So boom, it is ready. Okay, so you can see this, you can change it to anything you want, like for phone, for tablet, or it is also for desktop. So I can just leave it at any place I want. All right, so but first of all, what is really important for us to know is that, let me put it on my mobile view, is that you can make anything as you really want. All right, so I can component, just as I said, is a way of making reusable elements. You can add these elements to any of your screen and also define the functionalities of what that component or how the component should behave. All right, so I can change the color of the names, the color of the button, depending on what I want. All right, so I'm going to be showing you how to define a parameter. So what is a parameter? All right, a parameter is a way of passing values to our component in order to affect the features in that component independently. All right, so that is what you are going to be doing. So probably I can change the color. I can change the color for this also, it does not matter. So what is very essential for you to know is that when it comes to components, yeah, we are in a profile component, is that we can make reuse of this component. All right, though everything is at same. We have our state, our app state, we have our local state, which is, yes, local state for components. We have component state, and we can define an action for this. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing at the moment is that first of all, I'm going to be defining a color parameter whereby user can pass different kind of color based on the screen and the functionality he wants the component to behave. Okay, so click on this parameter as you can see here. So we are going to start defining a color for probably a text. So I can say a text color. So name it text color. So I don't want it to be required. All right, it can be optional. So I can see it also search for a color, pick this color. First of all, I can add any kind of color I want. That does not matter. All right, you can also add another component, right, parameter, sorry to say, which is going to be a color. All right, so you can say button color. So I just always make sure that the beginning starts with a lowercase, not camel case. So you can also add a color for this. I'm going to pick a color, and also I'm going to be setting it to blue. All right, so the initial value. So for the image, I'm going to be adding a parameter for the image depending on the kind of image the user really want to pass. But for me to do this, let me save this, guys, and click on this image and come back. Just copy this because you are going to be passing a different image to this component. All right, so click aside the scaffold and also go back to the component parameter. Just as you can see, click it to edit. You can also add give it image. All right, pick here the type is going to be image part, so we can set a default value based on this image. Okay, so once we save, we are ready to call this component in our home page. All right, so that is what you are going to be doing. Okay, but before we do that, I'm going to be adding a button so that when a user click on that button, the component is going to pop up and we can pass a value to that. Okay, for doing this, our screen is empty at the moment, but you are going to be adding a container. So I'm going to be adding this container, and I will make the width and the height of the container to be infinite so that it fits our screen. And I'm going to be changing the background color a little bit, and I'm going to be leaving it just like this. And instead, I'm going to be dragging a button. You can see the button have a full width, but that's not a good way to do that. So first of all, just drag in a column and drag in a button to that column. All right, so based on the column now, I'm going to push things downward. Click on this column, and I want it to be probably at the center part. Okay, and click on this button. You can increase the width of the button. You can make the width of the button to be infinite depending on what you really want. And also I'm going to be changing the background a little bit, just like this. And based on this column, on the button, I can add a padding. Maybe I can say a padding white to be 30. And also this should be 30. I can make it I think it's okay just like this. So you can increase the width if you really want to increase the width, but for now it's okay because I can say click me. All right, so it's as simple as that. So whenever a user click on this button, we are going to be bringing the model, pop up the model. All right, so for this to work, so what I'm going to be doing first of all is that I really want to add an action to this button. So we are going to be adding an action to the button. So click here, open the action flow editor and click. So we are going to be coming down to widget. All right, come down to widgets UI interaction. We are going to be seeing a bottom sheet. So click on this bottom sheet so we can say show. We are not going to be dismissing, so we can pass values based on these things, right? So the value is transparent. Yes, you are going to be leaving it as transparent. All right, click here, come back. We are going to be leaving it as select the component. The component is going to be our profile component. All right, so that is how it is going to be. So we can pass so many of these properties we have created, right? We have created so many properties like button color. So based on this button color, we can set a color to the button color, right? So for me, I'm going to set it to a little bit of blue, just like this, and also to the text to the text color. I'm going to set the text color to something like this, so I can make sure that you can see the effect of what I mean. And also to the image, I'm going to be passing a value to that image. All right, so for me to get an image, so I'm going to be getting a different image from FreePic. All right, I'm going to be getting a different image from FreePic. You can pick this young man just like this, copy image address, come back and set in this value. All right, so once every value have been defined, you can just close. But first of all, what we are going to be doing is that come back here and come back to this guy. All right, so on the button, we are going to be clicking setting the color based on what we have already defined. All right, so click here, come back to the component, and you can click on button color. Okay, so based on this, come back to the text color. You can find the text color just here and click on text color. All right, and also to the image, you can come back here and click to the component parameter and also click on this. All right, so we can also add a default value to this. So we can add, so for me to get a default value, I'm going to be getting a different value for this, so that you can see exactly what you can do with this. So you can just paste and also paste. Okay, so once you confirm, you can see the default image for this. Okay, so guys, this is it, and this is how to define components in your application. But first of all, we are going to be clicking to see how this is going to look like. So at the moment, our application is running. So guys, our application is done running. So let's test the functionalities of this. So when I click on this button, you can see our profile, everything comes in as we said. You can see the color turns to purple, the button turns to purple as well. All right, and you can see the profile image. Okay, though there's a little bit of overlaps here, but that's not what we are going to be doing in this video. You can play with these functionalities. Once you come back to our action flow editor, you can also change whatever you want to change here. You can make it to be red. Is also, you can change the color to be red. You can also change this one to whatever you want, depending on what you want. So that is how to make reusable component or element in your FlutterFlow application. Once I hit on the restart button, you are going to see that those effects is going to take place. All right, so immediately you click, you see it load, and those effects have taken place. So that is all you need to know about component in FlutterFlow. It is as simple as that, passing one component to the other screen based on the functionalities and what you want that component, or how you want that component to behave. And you can also pass parameters to that component depending on how you want the UI or the UX to look like. So thank you for watching this video. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe, share this video, and I will continue to make an amazing video just like this in the future. I love you guys and have a good day.